Joining us now from Tel Aviv to discuss the latest, Ariella Novik, the co-founder of BottomLineMedia.org. Ariella, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Give us, if you can, a description of how the people are feeling in Tel Aviv, in Israel, really all over that country.
Absolutely. Firstly, good morning. Thank you for having me. It is a good morning here in Israel. Last night, as I canvassed and walked through Hostage Square, you could feel the joy, you can feel the excitement, and you can also feel the worry. Who's going to come home? How are they going to come home? How are they going to look? How are they going to feel? Can they be healthy enough to walk through those gates, those doors, those cars? And the feeling there was really joyous at times. People broke out in song. It was really beautiful. And at other times, people were walking around saying, how many more minutes, how many more hours, how much longer are we going to stand here to wait?
And they've been standing there, some of them for 48 hours, is my understanding.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And they're prepared to wait there as long as they need to. There's a big sign there counting down the minutes, counting down the seconds until they are all home. People are literally walking around offering whatever it is. I actually was handed this sticker you can see to my left here, and it says returned in Hebrew, returning. And that's a new sticker. As you can see, people usually have those numbers that are written there. And I feel proud to now be handed this one, and it says returning. Really an amazing feeling to feel. We're all watching, waiting very, very cautiously, watching the screens here. And I'm seeing now in Gaza as well, this whole setup here with these chairs, and it looks almost like a show, which I was not expecting to see. I thought they would come out a little bit differently, but we will wait and see how that procedure proceeds on.
The 20 surviving hostages, all of them are male, correct?
That we know of, yes. Yes.
And that's got to be so frustrating for the families, of those hostages. You just said that we know. There is so much we don't know about their condition, about how they've been treated, and about what their futures are. That's got to be just so frustrating for the families.
Absolutely. I'm aware that they are setting up at 3 different hospitals, and they have prepared for the different individuals to be set up at those 3 different hospitals. Some will be airlifted. They'll all be airlifted via a helicopter, but to different locations, depending on what they are known and their known ailments are and how they can be treated. I am aware that one of the hostages have come out, Guy Gilboa Dalal, who I believe he has a twin brother, who I've gotten to know over these last 2 years. And he was the first one, I believe, that has been released. And I've been reading on now, and we'll see the conditions, how he is, and then he'll be set to go to one of these hospitals here where they've been, and I've seen how they've set up. It's really lovely. They're not meant to look like hospitals. They're looked to feel like they are home. Of course, they cannot return home yet. They're not well enough yet, of course. But there they will be set there to relax, recover, have catered meals throughout, as many as they need, and really feel like they are home, but yet at a hospital, getting the treatment that which they need, deserve, and really need help with getting now. And may we see the continuation of, all these hostages returning home. The first 6 are set to come out now, and then I believe this afternoon there'll be more coming out as the day goes by as well.
Hamas has made such an ordeal for these hostages in previous releases, has made kind of a show out of it. That's not going to happen this time, apparently.
Apparently, but it really worries me as I see these, these chairs being set up there going, what is this? And then you also see these newish cars that Hamas is coming out of with children following behind the cars. I know they maybe they don't have things to do today, but it's very alarming to me that children should be so close to members of Hamas coming out of new vehicles, which I wonder where they come from as well. And as they set up with these chairs here, Hostage Square, I don't know if you've been, but it's a place where people come together, they sing, they're there holding hands.
Ariella, we have to take a short break, but we'll be back to continue our conversation in just a moment. We were speaking before the break with Ariella Novik. She is back with us. She is the co-founder of BottomLineMedia.org. And I'm sorry, Ariella, for having cut short our conversation before. But continue your thought about the hostages and what this day means to the nation of Israel.
Sure. Firstly, thanks for having me back. I got word as well. I believe that around 10 o'clock, the Red Cross is now headed down to the north. It's now headed to the meeting point in the northern Gaza Strip, where several hostages will be transferred in their custody, perhaps around 10 a.m. But obviously subject to change. So we are keeping our eyes on that. And then, as the other correspondent was discussing, the piano and alone, I was there last night in Hostage Square, where tons of people were standing around this beautiful piano, playing it, singing with now smiles. And instead of saying, we're commemorating him, we're now celebrating him. And of course, we don't know the health at which he's in. We have been hearing about, his loss perhaps of his eyesight. And that's something we're going to keep, our thoughts on and see how he's recovering. Of course, he's just come out right now, but it was beautiful last night. Everybody around this piano, and instead of singing songs of, within a sad tune and voice, there was this uplifting feeling. You couldn't help but feel it and sing along with the tunes. Even if you don't know them, people were singing along anyway. So I'll add that in there as well. The other reports that I'm seeing is, according to Al Jazeera, that's the 10 a.m. timing that we have seen. And I'll also discuss here, President Trump, of course, is headed to Jerusalem to speak, and is now, I heard on the show, the fourth president to be addressing the Knesset, which is a huge honor. And here in Israel, it's amazing. There are so many signs of, American flag, Israeli flag, walls all over the walls with this beautiful lighting of, red, white, and blue, and then blue and white right next to it. The Israeli people, the American people really uniting as one. So thankful that the president, prime minister have worked together along with the other, delegations and individuals from other countries to make this deal happen today. The families are together, of course, but the one thing that really stands out to me in my mind is, of course, there's families that their loved ones are not coming back in the way that which we can see them walk through those car doors. Yeah. They're going to be coming back and needing a burial, and no man left behind. Everyone must come home. And there's American hostages that have lost their lives, that were murdered on October 7th.
Yeah.
They too come home.
Ariella, thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.